Increase your Pinterest traffic and reach by over 1,000% when you start doing this one thing. I'm Emily Bales, I'm a Pinterest marketing and ad strategist, and for the past 4.5 years, I've helped my clients and my students increase their traffic and turn it into profit through the power of Pinterest marketing. So I believe it was in November of 2021, I had been really intentional about growing on TikTok, and I was creating all of this video content, crazy amounts, sometimes 3 new videos a day, sometimes 4, just really trying to build that audience on the platform. And I started thinking to myself, there has to be another way I can utilize this content. I know that this content has more life left in it. And that's when I decided to start taking that social media content from TikTok and repurposing it for Pinterest. Now, I didn't see overnight growth by any means in some of my pins. So like I mentioned, in November of 2021, I published one pin. I can specifically remember, I think it was actually an Instagram reel that I had repurposed, and I published it on my Pinterest account. Fast forward to the summer of 2022, my account starts taking off. So then you're looking for the content, like, what is happening? What is taking off? And I had this pin that I had published from November that was finally getting some traction and getting hundreds of saves and thousands of impressions. And honestly, for my account, it was really going viral. And I think it also got me like over 500 followers from one video pin. Now at the time it was formatted as an idea pin, and that's another story for another day. And if you want to learn about what in the world is going on with idea pins and how they're going away, I would love to direct you to that other YouTube episode. But coming back though, really what Pinterest, why they created idea pins was to keep people on the platform, but also because they wanted creators to be sharing that short form video consistently. And so one thing that is truly going to, I think, stick around on all platforms is video content. People love video content, and it's so helpful. It engages, your audience in a different way. And I don't want to say that you need to push aside static pins for Pinterest. Absolutely not. You need static pins still. But I just want to say, don't sleep on video content. I find that a lot of business owners underestimate the power of video for their audience on Pinterest. So like I said, going back to my story now, I'd been sharing some of my TikTok content on Pinterest and been repurposing that. I wasn't doing it super consistently, to be totally honest. I was really at the time focusing on serving my clients. And finally, when the summer rolled around, things had actually kind of changed my business, and I didn't have as many clients, and I got access to the creator rewards. And what I did was, when I got access to the creator rewards, which, spoiler alert, no longer exists, it really made me double down on video content. And I promised myself, I'm going to publish a video pin. At the time it was an idea pin, but I was going to publish a piece of video content every single day to Pinterest. I think I had told myself for 30 days, but then when I started seeing the results, I continued to do it for multiple months, and it literally increased my Pinterest stats by over 1,000%. And I'm not just talking about some of the metrics that feel more vanity because they don't really show that people are taking action, such as monthly views or impressions, but actually my saves, which show high intent and are important in the eyes of the Pinterest algorithm, and then also outbound clicks. Okay, so at the time, these pins that were driving traffic even to my website, actually they weren't linkable. So what was happening was these pins were getting traction, then Pinterest was showing more of my content, and then at the time, the standard pins that were linkable were also doing better. So it kind of really created a better ecosystem for my account, so to put it. So now, the good news is that all pins are linkable, so you don't have to worry about that. So any video content you're publishing on Pinterest is going to be able to, you can direct that to your offers, your lead magnets, your YouTube episodes, whatever you want. But now I want to show you what that process looks like for me, because you don't just want to take anything and put it on Pinterest, okay? Because Pinners are in a different mindset than social media users. The trends aren't the same. The music isn't the same. So it's really important to be intentional and strategic about it. Otherwise, you're just going to be pushing out a lot of content and it's going to kind of fall flat. And one other thing I want to mention is, if you don't understand how to utilize keywords and really optimize your account, you're going to want to go back and watch my other YouTube episode all about keywords on Pinterest, because when you're taking that video content, you're going to want to optimize it, okay, for Pinterest, because it's a search engine. So the keywords are going to help index your content. So without further ado though, let's go ahead and jump over and check out my step-by-step process for repurposing that video content. Okay, so first things first, you are going to want to go to your TikTok account, your Instagram account, whatever social media platform you are utilizing that has video content that you feel that you could repurpose for Pinterest. Now, when you go to the platform, the next filter I want you to think about, or the lens that I want you to view your content through, is I want you to decide, does this have trending audio? If it's dependent on the music, the beats, the words, it's not gonna work on Pinterest, okay? Because the music is not the same from platform to platform, and Pinterest will remove the sound from your pin, and they will send you an email saying that you have violated copyrights. And it was really interesting because I had repurposed content for Pinterest and I did not remove the audio. And some of them were, trending noises or things from social media where it wasn't even this famous song. But anyways, I got an email saying that the sound had been removed on my pins. And typically this happens on other platforms as well, when for whatever reason your content has been pinged or the sound's been removed. It does impact the distribution of that content because a lot of times it's violating a policy. So that's why if you have any video content that is dependent on, once again, audio, so you lip syncing to a song, if there's beats that really it matters, like if you have text coming up or something like that, you can get a little playful with it. I do have some videos where I am doing something in the background, like working on my computer, and the text does come up at different points, but you could really, phase out that audio from one platform and choose music or audio from Pinterest. So one other thing I want to mention to you, because I'm showing this on my desktop, I will be on my Pinterest account on my desktop. It does look different when you're creating a pin on your mobile device, and you have even more features and functionality really when you're creating that content on your phone. So if you want to upload that video content specifically, because then you're gonna have more capabilities with the music and editing it rather than your desktop. But for time's sake now, especially with jumping back and forth between screens, I think it's a little bit easier to show it on desktop. So now I know what lens I'm looking at my content through. I know right off the bat, I have a lot of content where I'm speaking and talking directly to the camera. And Pinterest has always been a very introverted platform, but it's super interesting because my content that performs the best is when I'm looking at you, talking to you, making you feel seen. I'm invested in your business. I care about helping you grow on Pinterest. And that comes across in a different way. And even though Pinterest has always been this introverted platform, people love to interact with people. People like to build relationships. And of course, 97% of the searches on Pinterest are unbranded. However, you could be discovered by a new audience who becomes your next raving fan. So I really want to encourage you, if you don't have a lot of content where you're speaking directly to camera, maybe try one, see what happens. I would love for you to do that. Now, some of you might be like, that's never going to happen, Emily, and that's okay. I promise you your video content can still be repurposed on Pinterest. But like I said, you're just going to have to get a little bit more creative with the audio, and just know that you cannot take a video that has audio from Instagram, TikTok, wherever, and then put that on Pinterest, or, we'll get dinged. You'll get that email saying you violated something. So definitely don't do that. So I know right off the bat though, I do have a lot of educational content that I could be sharing with my audience where I am talking directly to camera. So a lot of times I'll find some of my videos that have really performed better than average for me. And that's kind of an indication that something resonated. So I like to try and test some of that content first before I try some of the content that didn't perform as well. But the thing that's really interesting is sometimes I will have something not perform well on social media and then it performs really well on Pinterest. And remember, Pinterest is a little bit different because it's a search engine. So just something to keep in mind, just because it hasn't performed well or gone viral, that doesn't mean that you can't repurpose it for Pinterest. So when you're also looking through this lens, we talked about the types of audio, trying to speak directly to camera, especially because then you don't have to worry about removing the sound or the music. But then also thinking about your content through the lens of it being educational, giving people ideas, inspiration. What I want you to try to capture is the save factor. I want you to have people say, oh, this is so good, I need more of their content. So they want to follow you. They want to save that pin for later. That's really what I want you to think about when you're trying to decide what content to publish from social media to Pinterest. So there has to be something in it for them. Okay. So they want to either be educated, they want to learn more about something. So like I said, I want you to look at it through that lens. Now I'm just going to click on, let's see. This is the part 2 about how I work from home as a Pinterest manager, how I 4x my teaching salary. Okay, so I could take this video, and what I'm going to do now that I have selected a piece of content that I want to repurpose. So I know that this is teaching my audience something, how I 4x my teaching salary by becoming a Pinterest manager. People, I think their ears perk when they're like, huh, I love Pinterest. You can get paid to work on Pinterest. So this video is really educating my audience what that transition looked like for me, because somebody had commented on my video, how? So you hear people throw out these claims, and sometimes it's easy to think, oh, they're probably making this up, or that's easy for you to do, or whatever. And so my whole thing is I really, I want to teach my audience how they can do this too. And if they want me to be their guide, then I'm more than happy to be their guide. So ultimately, where I would be directing this traffic though, and this content has a purpose, and you also have to think about that too. When you're selecting the video content, where are you going to drive that video content to? It has to have a link. You don't just want to put it to Instagram. So actually that's another story for another day, but I do not actually recommend driving traffic to Instagram. And the reason for that being is it's just a weird user experience. Pinterest users are not used to being on Pinterest and then opening up another app like Instagram. So you might think, well, I have loads of content and value and so much I can offer my audience in my captions. But I really encourage you to, repurpose your captions. You could use them for email, you could use them for text overlay on videos, whatever. But I just don't recommend you directing a lot of traffic to Instagram. If you want to test a couple of pins, that's fine. It's not going to penalize your account, but your content isn't indexed the same. Users, it creates a weird experience. So a lot of times they'll just X out of it and not actually take action. So just some things to keep in mind. So with this video, I know the purpose of getting people to watch this video is I want them to go to my landing page, which is right here, how to make 5K monthly as a Pinterest manager. So I have a plan for that traffic. Okay, because Pinterest is a traffic driver and you're just driving traffic for the sake of driving traffic if you don't have a plan for how you're going to convert that traffic. Okay. So when I get people to my free live training, I teach them and educate them. And I know that even if they don't ever buy a thing from me, that I just served them an hour and a half of content in my time and told them how they could get this started, that is incredible value. So I feel really good about asking people to sign up for that either way. But then if they decide that, Emily, I want you to be my guide, my mentor, I want you to help me start my Pinterest management business, then there's an offer at the end of my live training where an exclusive invitation for those people who have, showed up, watched the training and are ready to learn more. And ultimately those people become my students. So you can see that path from I took the social media content, I repurposed it for Pinterest. People might be searching for work from home ideas, Pinterest manager, freelancing. My pins come up. They see my pin. They click on my pin. They go to this landing page and they think, who's this Emily chick? Sure, I would love to learn more about how to make 5K monthly as a Pinterest manager. I love Pinterest. This could be a great option for me. So that's what that looks like for how I'm actually monetizing that traffic. So I'm not saying that you have to have a landing page or something, that's like a super direct call to action. You could even direct your pins obviously to like a blog post or a YouTube episode that's super informative. But like I said, you just want to be strategic about not just the video content you're repurposing, but actually how you're going to use that video content. Because to get impressions and saves and those things mean nothing if it's not equating to money in your bank account, right? So now I guess it's one thing if you are a content creator and you actually do monetize your content and you have brand partnerships and you're an influencer. That's a different story. But for a lot of my audience, they are course creator, they are online service providers. I, teach e-commerce, and they need a very clear path from like, okay, this is how I'm using Pinterest, and this is going to, drive this traffic, which is going to equate to money for my business, and not just, actually monetizing the content. So now that you have selected the video, the next step I want you to take is super simple. You are just going to copy the link. So we're on TikTok. I'm just copying the link for this video. It'll even show you notification. I'll press it again at the top. It says copied. So then you're going to go to SaveTick. Okay. So close. Okay. So here I am on SaveTick.net, and you are going to paste the URL for that video and press download. And what that's going to do is it's going to download that video content and remove the watermark. So now I'm going to download video again, and I have that video down here. And one thing I would do, I would actually recommend saving the file name. So Pinterest Manager Training, something that might have some keywords in it. That's just another place that you can optimize your content. And then what you're going to do, you are going to create that on Pinterest. I'm going to go over to my save tab so I can hit the plus sign. I'm going to click on pin. You'll notice I don't have idea pins. It just said pin and board. So then I can even drag and drop, which, like I said, rename the file, but for the sake of time here, I'm not going to. I have this wonderful video content. I can edit it. I do recommend as much as possible utilizing text overlay and different things in Pinterest, because I do believe that helps Pinterest. They can read those keywords, so it helps them index your content. So I would want to rank for Pinterest Manager. Okay. Make sure you spell things right. Sometimes I don't. Okay. I try to, though. I was a teacher. But now that my brain is also a mom brain, sometimes I misspell. Okay, I'm going to move this up here via Pinterest Manager. And I know that I leave that text on there the entire time, so I don't need to worry about the timing of it. But these fun tools and adding the text overlay, adjusting the music, tagging products and affiliates, those are all things that you can do in the app. It looks different on desktop. So definitely test it out on desktop, or excuse me, on your mobile device, and let me know in the comments of this video too if you're like, okay, Emily, that's great, but now I want to see it on your phone. Okay, let me know. I would love to do that for you. And actually, I created this video because I had another video about how to create viral video content on Pinterest, and the person, she was so sweet. She was like, I love your content, but I'm a really visual person, and you need to show me how to do it. So this video is here now. So I listened to you. Let me know what you think, what questions you have. Obviously, I have not fully optimized this piece of content. I'm going to move this. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to, let's see. Okay, there we go. Done. Gotta move my video back up. Okay, so now obviously I would want to optimize the title, the description. I'm gonna add that link. Make sure you add the link for where you want to direct that pin to. You can add up to 10 tags. You can choose a board that you want to pin it to, the most highly relevant board. Obviously, there's more to this. You can even edit the cover photo, but I really just wanted to show you that process, that thought process as well, like what I was thinking and how I was deciding what content to repurpose. So yeah, I hope that gives you a really good idea of what that looks like from social media to Pinterest, what I think about, what I'm looking for, and that I don't just throw up anything. Test it out on your mobile device, and I am here if you need it. So let's go ahead and wrap up this video. So I hope you found this episode so helpful. You'll have to let me know if you are going to start consistently repurposing your content. And one thing, pro tip that I want to share is Pinterest takes time. It's a long game platform. You get started on Pinterest thinking about, ooh, I wonder where I'll be in a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now. It's not one of those things where I'm like, I'm gonna just create a few pins and see what happens. Pinterest does not work that way. You have to give it time, you have to give it energy, and you really have to think about your audience and how they're using the platform, what they're searching for. I really know, and I feel it's going to pay off for you, but you have to give it time. So I would love for you to go over to your social media accounts, TikTok, Instagram, wherever that may be, decide on what content you want to strategically start repurposing. And I would love for you to let me know in the comments if this helped, if you're seeing any growth from this, and I can't wait to see and share more with you in the upcoming episodes. So be sure to subscribe to my channel. That helps me grow, and I so appreciate it. I cherish every single follower, and I would, like I said, let me know in the comments if you're gonna try this, if you have tried it, and I can't wait to see you soon in next week's episode. Bye for now.